Welcome back to It's New. Again, whenever Mordy's not here, you see this massive smile on my face. So happy to report Mordy is not here today. For some reason, he felt like he couldn't multitask. He's supposedly driving right now, and he doesn't feel it's safe to drive and to record. He doesn't believe in you guys. He doesn't feel that it's worth driving and bringing you the news like some of other people on this channel. So, I mean, you should definitely let him know your feelings in the comments below.
I'm going to give him kudos for being safe.
I will too as well. I'm not going to be sitting here approving, YouTubing and driving at the same time.
I've done it from the car, but I pull over to record.
I had to get there and use a mount if I wanted to. I was looking at the road. You saw me looking at the road, so. Anyway, I did not get, no cop actually came over to my house yet about this, so hopefully it'll be okay. But in any event, I'll be covering about some Friday search liaison news around can a site or when will a site that deserves to recover, when will it recover, if it will ever recover. Then some maybe a little bit of March core update confusion, and then Google Business Profile delays. What do you got for us, Anu?
So Google Ads is bringing something new for PMax around search terms that people will love.
And Greg?
Breaking the news. Google sees no impact on ad revenue by removing EU news publishers.
Trying to get smart there. It's funny. Everybody who's sharing that story on Twitter is like, breaking news, blah, 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 blah. Any event, moving on. So everybody's like, where has the search liaison gone? He's back. He's back on Twitter responding to some people. Of course, he's getting flack for it. Nate Hank, a travel blogger who was probably, I think, one of the people who was invited to the Creator Summit or Web Summit, whatever they called it, back at Google's offices, went ahead and asked Danny Sullivan, the search liaison, by what specific date can we expect Google to do better with servicing independent sites? And Danny Sullivan said there's no specific date because there's no specific thing that the teams are working on to improve. There's multiple things because search has multiple things that are involved ranking. Then he went on to ask more questions, and he went on to explain that basically some sites already may have benefited from things they may have changed or that may have changed on Google's end. And basically there are things, some sites are doing better, some sites are not, and some sites may never do better. And then Nate followed up by saying, can we take this to mean that by December 31st of 2025, if not before? And Danny Sullivan, yes. And the reason he said yes is because he said, we're going to make changes. We made array changes, and we'll make changes throughout this year when Google announced the March core update. They basically said it's going to happen in 2025. That does not mean, he said, there's an important caveat. This doesn't mean that all sites will go back up to where they were if they were down from a previous peak. He said our results have changed since 2023. We're showing more social content and so forth. And basically, some sites don't even deserve to rank better anymore. They just, you look at them and they don't. So, I mean, it's not the answer that everybody wants. Obviously, everybody wants their sites to rank better no matter what. And then he went off on a little bit of a rant about what you need to do to rank better. So definitely take a look at that post if you were impacted by any of the core updates or helpful content updates over the past 2 or 3 years. It might hurt you or it might give you some hope. Probably not give you hope. I would suspect.
I mean, it should based on what he said, but it's just we've seen so much of that and no real action, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, and that a few things too from that event, which you had a great live tweet stream and coverage of. Danny had said he's been interacting with people on a daily basis, which could be true. It could be in DMs, but he was saying he did it on X. And the optics of it, though, from like a public facing format, does not look like he's been interacting with people on a daily basis. So it's good to see him back on all that stuff. But of course, Mordy just jumped right all over the minute he came back. This is why he's not tweeting. But it's a tough job that Danny has, especially in this case. But I think the biggest takeaway here is and I just put a video out today. Well, maybe it might not be live here, but what?
You gotta subscribe.
Oh, yeah, you gotta subscribe here, and then you can find it over.
Video.
Oh yeah, find me on LinkedIn. But it's just 2023 is so different, right? We were talking about it Thursday with even the health and your money, your life, and bringing in all the information from Quora and Reddit and everything. So even if you do get back and get those rankings back, they're way different. We saw AI overviews last week linking to other Google SERPs where there's more AI overviews. I think people still misunderstand. Just because you get your rankings back in the traditional SERPs doesn't mean you're going to get that traffic back. It doesn't mean you're going to get that volume to be ad supported back solely from Google search. And I know what Danny's trying to say is like things are different, but people are just way too binary. Like, oh, yes, no, when it comes to the SEO world, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's for sure. You summed it up pretty well. On the like, I'm interacting every day. I mean, one is it's obvious he's not interacting publicly. So when he said that, it means DMs. And I can tell you for a fact, I get screenshots after screenshots of Danny's DMs sent to me from different people on Twitter. So he is interacting with people. I see it. It's just he doesn't want to deal with the public, I guess, outcry because you see what happened here when he's responding. So that didn't make it right, but that's kind of his job. But it is what it is. And then we have some volatility potentially around the March 2025 core update that we reported on Friday. Google made a change to their HTML of their search results, which confused a lot of tools. Not clear what tools were actually impacted. I know SE rankings, Ahrefs, and a bunch of other tools confirmed there were issues with rank checking and so forth based on those changes to the HTML, the Google search results. So it's hard to know for sure. But it's been a weird update. I mean, there's definitely sites that got hit really, really hard so far, and some sites that recovered significantly, but I'm not seeing that widespread like complaints across the board. And then I do see lots of complaints across the board when it comes to Google business profile appeals. Google actually confirmed, Victoria Kroll from Google confirmed that due to unusually high volumes of appeals, processing times that are currently extended. We're working diligently to review all cases. At this time, we cannot provide a specific response time frame for the pending cases. And we covered this last month, I think 5 weeks ago, that there's a massive backlog with support requests for Google business profiles. And this is just confirming it's continuing on, and Google's not going to be able to give us any timeline of when that will be resolved. And of course, if Google's not able to resolve it, there'll be a massive backlog of appeals because people keep asking for appeals. And I saw Mike Blumenthal posted some data around like the number of appeals and so forth that are coming into the Google business profiles is significant, is much higher than ever. I wonder if it's because people are submitting duplicates over and over again saying, why is Google not responding to my initial appeal and submitting it again? Because Victoria from Google said, do not, submit a new listing if you already submitted one. We're going to get to it eventually, but people just, will submit it again just to make sure it goes through. And I think that's what's happening here. All right, let's go on to search ads. Anu, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, sure. This is one Greg tried to steal from me, but I got it back.
I gave it to you. What are you talking about? How dare you? I gave you the best one, the best news of the day.
Gave it to me. It was mine already. How dare you? So yeah, Google Ads search term visibility in PMax campaigns, guys. So yeah, Google is now showing in your search term report that some of those search terms came from a PMax, Performance Max campaign. And this is something that was picked up by Hannah Kobzova. Sorry, Hannah, if I've said that wrong. She's suggesting there's going to be a gradual rollout because obviously I'm not sure. Nobody else I've picked up has announced that they've spotted it yet. Greg, have you guys spotted it in your accounts yet?
No.
You checked? No? Okay. So yeah, still in rollout phase, maybe starting in Europe and then going on to, because she's not based in the UK. So I don't even know if anyone in the UK has seen that yet. So yeah, that's something that people will love. We're all about show us search terms, show us what our ads are showing against. And yeah, Google's brought that out for PMax. I'm sure that's something that you're gonna celebrate. Greg, you've got to put up a video for that one. Not celebrate this.
Yeah, so that's that video today. I do celebrate or sell a hate, and I would celebrate this big time. But I still think PMax is a little goofy. But I feel like they also need this for Search Max, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
Search Max.
That's me.
All right, Greg, go ahead.
Okay, and I would say this is pretty shocking, but the EU, Google had done that test where they removed all news based off of a potential law that would go through. And Google said that there was a 0.8% drop in usage, and that the revenue coming into Google was flat. So no change by removing this. It didn't seem like people used Google too much less when there was no news in there. This is like a big call out, I would say, to the EU to say, don't do this, right? Like, we're in a place now where we need any traffic we can get, especially from a news site, especially somebody ad supported. And by Google saying basically people still use Google the same, We aren't seeing any revenue drops by removing you. The EU's got to change their tune fast on this, in my opinion.
Yeah, Barry Adams had a very detailed response to this. He's like the news SEO guy on LinkedIn. So definitely check out his response to this because I don't think it's like when it comes to statistics and showing data and so forth, you can do whatever you want with it. Again, Google doesn't seem too nervous about dropping EU news publishers from a search ads perspective, but from their mission, it is an issue. Google wants to, surface as much content as possible that's relevant to their searchers. So either way, good point. They don't seem worried about it.
The EU continuing to break the internet. That's just what they do. All right. And then our last story here of the day is if you are have a Merchant Center account in February, there was some data loss. And unfortunately, that data loss is unrecoverable. And the email was found by Arpan Banjari. And they said there was a temporary issue in February 2025 that had some conversion data loss. They found the underlying issue. However, it is unfortunately unrecoverable. So if you see some weird abnormalities and you're looking in Merchant Center, you may just want to check your internal system and also Google Analytics, as there will be an outage that is unrecoverable in February.
Yeah, and we don't have the exact dates. We just know sometime in February. We don't know how many is impacted. So if you are concerned, reach out to your ad rep, and hopefully you'll get the details that you need. In any event, thanks so much for being here with us this morning. We are back tomorrow, hopefully, with more It's New. Have a good day. Bye-bye.